Hey everyone, thought it was about time to do an update on the moss stick wall. It's been a few months now. You can see starting to come in. Now I cleaned the glass today, but I didn't do trimming and such. I kind of thought that's what most people do, dress it up, make it look as good as possible, but this is more the day-to-day thing of what it looks like. You can see the moss has grown in. I've made a lot of changes. We have a new light in here. The old light didn't work out so well, it broke. So I got a better light. I covered this rock here in the center with moss, and it's really grown in quite well. I've also added, of course, the CO2, which has really helped a lot. As far as the moss on the stick wall goes, some of the mosses worked well, but I can tell you the Java fern did not work at all. You won't find any Java fern in there. I glued it on and it all died. So now I did use probably too much glue. If you ever do something like this, make sure you got good lighting, because I know I used too much glue. But it worked for the two different kinds of mosses I do have in here, but it did not work at all for the Java. The Java just all died. The sticks are doing well. I fixed them with zip ties when I initially did it, and that worked really well. And then I tied it down with thread. Now, I knew the thread would break, but I was too anxious to do this to wait until I could buy some proper fishing line. And though that was a mistake, I do like how it worked out. Once the thread broke, of course, the sticks pushed out a bit. They still stayed in place for the most part. They just pushed out. And that pushing out made it look more natural, I think. It's created a lot of caverns and caves kind of affair. The fish love to swim in there. I've got some shrimp in here now, and they really like it too. So they're often in and back there and such. Of course, I got some plants in there as well. They've been growing like crazy. Now you can see this back corner, I didn't put enough sticks. If you ever do something like this, make sure you buy more sticks than you think you're going to need. I didn't have enough, but the plant will grow in there. I just trimmed it back a few weeks ago, so it'll grow back in and cover that area. Also have a new filter in here. This one's much better. The other one was way too noisy, that typical old style filter. But yeah, everything else is growing quite well. You see, there's a shrimp buried in there. Now you can also see from this picture some of the algae problems I'm dealing with right now. I'm right in the middle of treating for algae. That has been a bit of an issue just recently, the last month I would say. So I'm treating for that now. And that's one reason actually I didn't clean the tank in the last week, because according to the directions on the algae remover, you should not clean your tank or do water changes, which is kind of tentative about. But we'll see what happens, keeping an eye on it. The water clarity is quite good, not worried about that. So yeah, there you go. There's an update. The moss is growing quite well, and I think it's provided a real natural look to the tank. I'm really happy with it, and I will definitely be willing to do kind of something like this again. So there you have it, an update on the stick and moss wall.